Our great friends of our community credit union sponsor the Focus on Shelton this week and every week, where representatives from the city come in to talk about issues going on and upcoming events and things of note. And Shelton Police Chief Darrin Moody in studio this morning. Morning, sir.
Good morning, all.
Morning.
First things first, I just want to say I have heard around the community that it looks like, for whatever reason, maybe scheduling, maybe other, there's a little more of a positive police presence around the city. So
we're always a positive presence.
Well, I know you're a positive presence, but it looks like you guys are out a little bit more than perhaps in years past.
Well, there's a couple things that contribute to that. One is Cab Field has worked well with the Office of Traffic Safety, and we have been selected as one of the primary grant fundees in this area. Click it or ticket, distracted driving, DUI enforcement. So a lot of our guys are out working the overtime for that. The other part of that is thanks to the school district. I mean, we have 3 school resource officers now. So you're seeing them going back and forth between all the schools all day long.
Yeah.
So it's really been good.
We had Officer Campbell on a couple weeks back about the Last Dance car crash mock training there. What do you? Those events are powerful, obviously impactful, very visual for the students. Brandon Hagee from Central Mason Fire was giving us some notes on some reductions in those types of distracted drivings. You got any thoughts on those? How they work for the? Are there ever any ones for adults to check out? These are high school things.
You know, that brings up a good point. We really haven't done any. It'd be interesting to do one community-wide and just let everybody come see it and be able to get their questions answered as what it causes. And, you know, in my day, it was about DUI.
Yeah. And
this one did focus on DUI. But there were some good points brought up into that is, you know, there's probably the same amount of people, I'm guessing, don't quote me, a good amount of people distracted driving that have had the same results of a major crash, especially in this area when you've got 2-lane highways all over the place with really no separation between them.
We were saying how foggy it was this morning, too, as people are driving in and out. I mean, go around some of these curves and people
lots
are
of
going
curves.
fast.
You know, we've had a couple out on Highway 3. We've had a couple in town. So, yeah, I'd say they have an impact. And if nothing else, it just educates the kids, the teachers, staff, what's going on.
Yeah. I know when you go like to the fair up in Puyallup, the State Patrol will have some of their wrecked cars that they've collected from scenes there to bring it home, and they'll have even trooper cars that are either on the side of the road as an officer is out talking and working a pullover issue there, and the other car comes around and bangs into it. And
that is a big portion of safety that we look at is, you know, people talked about the curves at Ole North and pulling over cars up there. And I said, we try to pull people over where it's safe, where it's safe for you and it's safe for us. And that's difficult to do at times.
And that's the thing, too. If you can, as the citizen, you got the cop behind you, the lights are flashing, you can either call, if you have hands-free, saying, I'm going to pull over, or you call dispatch. You know what I'm talking about here? Find a safe spot for you to do this.
And you know, generally, if I'm behind you with the lights and siren and you can't pull over safely, then don't.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. It's a little panic mode. It's, you know, and it doesn't hurt. I've had people several times over my career, they'll roll down the window and at least acknowledge that I'm there. And if you can do that, it's 10 times better. Just acknowledge that, you know, yes, I see you behind me. Because sometimes we'll think the car's not yielding, and they just don't see us.
Sure.
They're not paying attention, whatever else, you know, and we may not be pulling you over. We may be pulling this guy over who's in front of you, just trying to get you over so we can get to that person.
Right. Interesting.
I panicked the other day. I had a state patrol behind me in the lights. I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. And then he got around behind me when it was safe. And
that's a big thing that people have, a nervous and anxiety on that.
I have it. I've been doing this 30-something years, and if I see a trooper pulling behind me, I'm thinking, and the first thing I do is look down at my speedometer.
Right.
You know, it's anxiety. It happens.
Thursday, May 30th is the Mason County Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics, and the Shelton Police Department is a key runner throughout this great event across Mason County. It was of course well attended by folks in your attachment here, as well as the sheriff's office and the like. Tell us a little bit about the police department's involvement again.
Well, this is the third year it's happened here in Mason County, and it's really a fun time. for the departments to get together. I mean, we've got state troopers, we've got the county, us, Fish and Wildlife, Squawkson, you know. And this year, we're going to do this similar to what we did in the years past, is we'll take the torch at the high school as they come in from Belfair. We'll take the torch there, and we will run it through the new Olympic Highway curves, through the downtown, and through downtown, and out to the yacht club, where it'll be picked up there by the Squawkson on a boat, who will then transfer it out to the Squawkson, and they'll finish the run. I have to tell you, their run is the hardest. That run through there, Camelchi, is hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the young guys.
Sure.
That's for the young guys.
From the high school to the yacht club, you're going downhill.
Yeah.
And then it's a straightaway for the most part.
And, you know, I'll run a piece of that. I'm probably not going to run the whole thing from the high school to the yacht club. We do have a couple folks, you know, Captain Fiola did it last year, and some others that'll run from the high school all the way out to the yacht club.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have to say, you know, there's certain times where you do things and you just get so emotionally touched by it. And running through the high school, when they had all the students come out and see the Special Olympians running with us and just cheering them on as they're running through there, I mean, those folks were so excited. And a couple of them, I mean, they were outrunning us.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on a dead run. I'm slowing them down.
Sure.
Slow down, guys. We're old.
Enjoy this and take it all
Yeah.
in. And that was pretty special to see that as it was going through. How can folks get involved? Is there anything? Do you have any sort of competition with the sheriff's office or any of the other agencies on fundraising, or the Shelton Police Department was able to do this versus that, or is it everybody?
No, we've just kind of been, you know, talking to local businesses and folks about the Special Olympics. And then this year they're actually going to the World Games in Abu Dhabi, and which is just incredible that they have that experience.
Yeah.
You know, businesses, folks can donate to Special Olympics and the torch run. I know Casey does his polar bear plunge and some other things to raise money for it. So
I don't ever necessarily see you out there jumping in the cold water.
No, I'm a California guy, man. I'm not. Why would you jump into that water? You know what? I'll give you the money for the fundraiser, but jumping in freezing water just doesn't do it for me.
Doesn't do it for me.
Their own, then, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, was it the first year I was here, and Choice had their fair out there, and they put ice in the dunk tank for me. That was enough for me.
That was
all right?
enough to not do that ever again. It is a great nationwide, worldwide thing, as you mentioned, the Law Enforcement Torch Run. You can find out more. Just Google Law Enforcement Torch Run. We'll put the links to it with our local portions of the run, letr.org for that one. And you, along with the Sheriff's Department and all the other agencies, last year or 2 years ago got some real nice accolades from the nationwide Special
the
Olympics
kids did, and you know, and it, like I said, it's just a fun experience.
Yeah, it's something to be a part of for sure. Whether you're on the side of the road cheering everybody on, or you have the great opportunity to run a little bit of this. It is coming up Thursday, May 30th, just before we start kicking off some fun events for Forest Festival and through the weekend.
You know, speaking of events, can I throw another thing out
Please.
there? So, you know, we have the Forest Festival coming up with the fireworks shows, and we have 4th of July coming up.
Yeah.
Fireworks are illegal in the city of Shelton.
They sure are.
We will. You talked about how many people we've got out there. We will be out enforcing those again this year, probably a little more than they've seen in the past. And so people need to be aware. I mean, I get it. I understand you want to celebrate, but do it safely, insanely, and not in the city limits with the fireworks. There's just too much of a fire hazard out there that causes issues, you know, injuries, fire hazards, all of that. And on that note, it is a city ordinance that you will have your dogs licensed. Keep your dogs calm that night. Know that that's going to come up. We have a new animal control officer who sees a good amount of dogs that get out, and during these times where construction's going on, loud noises, etc. Get your dog licensed. It's really inexpensive with the city of Shelton, and that way you ensure your dog gets returned to you.
For sure. Let's see. One more thing on that with the fireworks and everything. What was I going to ask? A few years now that this has been law, are we past the point of educational enforcement? Are we going to start writing tickets for folks? Or?
I think so. You know, the difficult part here is there are parts in the city that intertwine with county and city.
Yeah.
And so theoretically, you could be on one side of the street and on the county, and on the other side of the street in the city. And the county does not have an ordinance. The flip side of that, too, is we have the tribal agencies out here that sell fireworks. And I tell you, the first year I was here, these are not fireworks; these are explosives.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
these are not just your sparklers.
Yeah.
These are full out explosives. And so, kids can go out 10 minutes out of town and buy these explosives and think they're okay to bring in town, and they're not. They're illegal.
Yeah, and there's an inherent health. Medical people blow their fingers off, and
man,
all sorts.
yeah.
You hear
Every
all
year,
those
the
stories.
injuries that come from the fireworks, the fires that occur,
Sure.
just danger all over the
And
place.
that's some of the main reasons too for these is you get the rockets that shoot up and they explode and then they start twinkling
Right.
down. They're beautiful, but they twinkle down, and we've been so dry over the last couple of
Yes.
years. It gets in the trees.
They hit a roof,
Yeah.
and it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Shelton Police Chief Darrin Moody, always good to see you. And
see
we
you.
will check in with you further down the road here.
So-
It's
Yeah, we got our K-9s in his class, so next time I come on, he may be graduated.
oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we'll get the green room open.
Yeah, we'll
do
bring
that.
him on.
That'd be
and
awesome.
we're still taking donations for the second dog. So
Okay.
What's the
All
name
right.
of the canine?
his name is Tango.
Love it.
He's a sable German Shepherd, and he's doing well. He's about midway through training right now.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to meeting him.